So we are live. I think it's going to take a little bit of time before we see us in Facebook. It's already 20 seconds, but we are live. So thank you very much for being here today with us. It's the beginning of a new series, and this series about it's a meetup for fun and functional family. And my name is Crystal Pilot, and I am coach for parents. I help parents to recapture freedom, so to work on them, to know what matters to them, to change career eventually, to have more energy, and to build a strong family with a lot of support, a lot of team building. And I have a special guest. I'm very happy to have her, and it's Anil Altas Brug. Is that right, how I pronounced it?
Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you.
Okay. And you are founder of Breathing Game. So you are a teacher for mindfulness with kids, parents with kids. And you wrote a book as well. What is the name of your book?
Breathe with me.
Hey, breathe with me. And today, so we are going to discuss that, how to do that. And what I have seen is, or what drew my intention is really the attention, so the digital nutrition of children and parents. And I was like, that is interesting. I would like to know more about that. So thank you, first of all, to be with me today.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
Accept the invitation. So it was very quick. And first of all, I would like to you to tell us who you are. Where are you from? Where do you live? What do you do?
Okay. I can say when I look at Anil, actually in this age, I'm a bit 45, but I can say I'm 5. Sometimes I'm just skipping before. And when I work with the children, I say like that, and it's also nice for the parents. So I'm a grown up with a children mind and the children heart, I can say. I believe in simplicity, clarity, and the flow. And I love to share my knowledge and expertise actually with the wisdom and generosity with the other people.
We have already one comment saying, wow, great topic. Thank you, Emmanuel.
Oh, thank you. And I'd like to work with different disciplines like digital projects, because I'm also a digital consultant, and breath, mindfulness, meditation, as you said, kids, parents, schools, teachers, and combining it with the art, actually, like dance, music, theater, and biology, physiology, psychology, and even digital art. So whatever I do, I try to make a butterfly effect actually for the women and for the kids. So
that's nice.
That's what I wake up for every morning. And I can say I'm a lifelong learner, and I'm a very curious person. So I'd love to learn. And other than that, what I do, I'm as I said, I'm a digital consultant and working with some different apps, applications, SaaS companies who would like to, make a really heartful difference in people's lives. And I'm a kids wellness expert, a breathworker and mindfulness and meditation teacher, and working with the kids and everything. But from all over the world, I work nearly with 3 different languages. So I live in Germany.
Okay.
I'm based in Germany right now, very near to Frankfurt in Bad Kreuznach. It's one of the breathing cities of Germany, actually. And I also do my work in Turkish and in English. So I'm originally from Smyrna, from Turkey, from Izmir, and all my ancients come from Greece and also from Macedonia and Balkans. And I've been living in Germany for the last 7 years. I have a son, and my little son is 7 years old, 6 years old. He just turned to 6 right now. And so since he was born, actually before that, for my breathing career, so for the last 7 years, my expertise mostly for the families and children and students and the teachers, and my husband is a teacher too.
Yeah, great.
Gymnasium in Germany.
So that means you have your own experience field at home.
Yeah, Of course. Yeah, I learn from them. And also I learn from my son. I mean, he is like a North Star to me. He is a bliss, and he is showing me the path every day whenever I'm really feeling stuck. So maybe I know you are going to ask some tips and tricks for the parents.
Yes.
Maybe the first tip can be that just look at your children and try to be in the flow because they show us the flow.
So how can we try to be on the flow? Because usually we have a lot of things to do.
Yeah.
So how do you do that? So how can we do that as parents?
Actually, I can say from my experience, I mean, for doing all those things, even as a teacher, I just look at the nature. I look at the water. I look at the sea. I look at the trees. I look at the flowers. I look at the birds or squirrels. So whenever I feel stuck and I feel like, okay, my mind is that busy and I can't decide what is the best for me, what have I done? Even I raised my voice to my son and I'm feeling awful at that moment. Okay, take a deep breath, look at from the window, even if you can't get out, and feel that energy in the nature, and nature really whispers you. So this is the first tip and trick actually that I could give. So
Okay.
being and to be on your own, not with the everybody. So please try to be on your own and try to open your heart and to see with your heart. So this is also another trick, maybe tip for the parents and for the ones who are listening to us. I'm also a content creator, so I work with the wellness tech companies like applications like Breathe Up and Dushiri, like Dreamland. So I'm writing. I'm not just writing for my book. I'm also writing for my son too. I'm writing the things like, I mean, who I'd like to share with him for the near future, maybe 5 years later, maybe 2 years later, maybe 3 years later, maybe when he's 20. So I have a book, I have a notebook. So I'm putting all those small stuff to there. And I know this is a period that all of us are afraid of dying. So this is the main, impulse for the human being. And it's the same for the animals and every kind of life, people in the world. So actually, I mean, I am not pushing myself that, okay, I'm alive right now, I'm healthy. No, that's not the case. To me, it's more like, if something happens tomorrow to me, which could happen, and we have no idea what will happen tomorrow. So I'd like to share those things with my son and
Yeah,
also with my husband.
I
So
have this thought a lot as well. Like say, and there is a lot of small things I do during the day to think, okay, if it would be my last day, I want to so that make me hug my children maybe a little bit more or see them more or stuff like that. Indeed, yeah, because I have these things then in my mind, and it's not bad at all, and I am not afraid about that, but it's just more about taking the moment.
yeah, exactly. Taking the moment and to ask yourself, not to your mind and to your heart, actually, what would you really like to do if this is the last day of your life? So
Exactly.
this is not an easy question. I mean, you don't have to answer it in a minute time, but you can think of it, okay, on your own.
Yeah, ask the
So from
question.
time to time, and ask yourself, so what would make you happy? Okay, all of us have to, we live in a materialistic world, and we have to have some money in our pockets for the future of our children. And other than that, if money was not the issue, what would you like to do? I mean, this was my career. With this, my career path has completely changed,
Yeah, me
actually,
too.
with my meditations and with the breath work too. So I advise this for everybody. So meditation is, to me, is a must. I mean, Elon Musk, Bill Gates, I mean, even the Apple's boss, Steve Jobs. So everybody, have been doing this. So, and still they are doing. So we have to learn for this, and we need to try. So there are so many different methods, and I'm sure one way would fit you, and start with 10 seconds, 30 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes, and then you will love it, and you will try to do it for nearly 30 minutes, 20-30 minutes every day.
Yeah.
And it is one of the best healing methods, actually.
So how can we start to meditate even 10 minutes? How can we do that?
Even for 10 minutes is a lot.
10 seconds, I would say. 10 seconds.
For 30 minutes, I will show some actually breathing exercises with that meditations that you can use also, that you can do with the children. Because what I call in my book, it's called digital apnea. You know, sleep apnea. Sleep apnea is something, very bad disease. Who has sleep apnea? When they wake up in the mornings, they feel not energetic. They feel like dizzy, and it's not, oh, that's a nice day, the sun is shining. That's not the mood. So actually we are turning to that mood whenever we are accessing and entering those screen time. So when we look at those screens, digital screens, it doesn't matter where, and the subject in related. I mean, it could be an online school, it could be an online class, it could be for a Zoom meeting, whatever, you name it. But the problem is, when we look at the screens, we hold our breaths, and we take we have some shallow breaths. So what happens with that? So especially when we hold our breath, our brain tells us, okay, fight, freeze, or mode. And most probably, this is kind of a technological, that's what I call like hidden stress factors technology. So we live with that, and our children live with that too, because they are born to this digital world. And we are talking to them, and okay, you have just 1 hour today for a computer game or for watching a cartoon, but it's not happening like that when they really have their own digital screens. So even though there are some restrictions, so in that point, digital nutrition is very important, especially for the teens, I must say. When would you take out the technology and those digital screens from those teens' lives? What would you put as a parent, as a teacher, as an adult? And ask this question to yourself too. I mean, this will, bring you many approaches and many diversified thinking in that sense. And let's play some games, okay?
Yeah.
After that, just to make that flow of the breath actually a bit more. So this
I just would like to add, because I have 3 children between 6 and 11, and we have seen with my husband that when we allow screen time during the after school, so they usually are not so quiet. So we decided to have no screen time during the week. So usually it's what we do when there is homeschooling and pandemic and so on. It's a little bit more complicated, but usually it's our rhythm, no screen time during the week. And we have seen the difference. It's just huge. It's the ambience at home, the atmosphere at home is just quiet. And then during the 2-3 first days, they're like, okay, we don't know what to do. And they're a little bit irritated. But after 2-3 days, they start to be creative and they start to have ideas, and it's just lovely to see them doing stuff and having this new energy. So we definitely see the difference at home when we do no screen during the week. The atmosphere at home is completely different.
This is sometimes not very easy for the parents in all over the world. Maybe it's different in Germany because kids are going to school, but in some countries there is a big lockdown, so children have to be at home. So they are doing homeschooling, and plus mothers have to, or if the mothers are also working like me and like my husband, which he's a teacher, so we really had a tough time actually for balancing that the timing, even though there are restrictions at home. So let's have a look some breathing games together. So this is a breathing ball. Okay, so people can use it. This is a Hoberman sphere, and you can use it on somewhere, and you can buy it online. Actually, it's not a secret to buy. So when you do it, so it's opening and it's closing. So when it opens, so think about that. Actually, your breath is getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and your body and also your stomach is getting bigger and bigger. So it's for diaphragmatic breath, like. And you can breathe in through your nose and breathe out. Exhale through your mouth. So it's more relaxing. Okay, let's try. Right. Yeah. This 3 breath exercise is also available, can fit to any age. I mean, for the teens, for the little ones, for everybody. And if you don't have something like that, you have something like that. Okay, use something like that. Oh. And if you don't have it, you always have some paper, so you can make a fan.
Right. Yeah.
So just be creative with the kids and kids.
What I do with my little clients, it's like I told them it's like a balloon.
Yeah, exactly. If you don't have anybody, use your hands. So breathe in and breathe out. There is a coherent breathing technique. I'm not going to show this here, but they can find it also if they go to thebreathingclassroom.com. They can download a full of breathing exercises from International Breathwork Foundations, because I'm an active member and teacher trainer in there, and we have done many English especially, and there are some different languages. It's also in Turkish and Russian, and not in German, by the way. We are working on German too, and they will find many different exercises in there too. So it's called Emergency Breathing Kit for Teachers, Parents, and Kids. So you can also have a look at that.
Yeah. And where can we find you? Do you have?
You can find me from Instagram, from social media, from Instagram and YouTube, and from my website. It's all the same. www.anilaltasbrug.com. So it's my name. So it's very easy to reach. And especially for these times, kids are using masks, right? When they're at school. My husband is a teacher, as I said, and he has to perform with a mask in a classroom. So he has students from 10 years old to 18, 20 years old. So every performance, every class is a bit different. And when he comes home, he is really losing his kind of his voice, and he's very tired just because he's using those masks all the time in the class and outside the class, even in the garden, even in the corridors, even in the toilet. So this is too much. So I advise you, even for and my son is going to start the primary school in after the summertime. So especially for those ones, I mean, who is going to kindergarten has no idea about those. So I advise you to make some exercises with them before they start having those. Like what? You can make some emotional games, like make happy. Make that, make worried or angry, things like that. I mean, to make the kids a bit, okay, this is something could be fun. And also, while you are doing this all the time, you might need a little bit break, actually, after an hour time, after each class, in between each class. But even though in the class, you can't just lose your mask. So that's another issue. If you can go to the garden or somewhere else, even with the children, so they can at least with the mask, okay, they can do some breathing exercises and they can balance their breath, because when we talk with the mask, we use mouth breathing, and mouth breathing makes us not very calm but high.
Yeah.
So anger, nervous, ups, a bit up, and plus if the kid has some attention deficit problems, this is also very important. So they're always up. So we should make them a bit grounded and make their breath to the calmer and through their body, flow in the body, not up but to the down. So how can we do that? Even with the mask and without mask, you can do this exercise. You will just breathe. Okay, breathe in with your mouth and breathe out with your nose. Okay, breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your nose. We will count. Breathe in 2 and breathe out 1, 2, 3, 4. Easy as that.
Yeah.
Okay, just make it
and
a
that
couple
calm
of
down.
times. Yeah, it's better for the teenagers for a minute time. For the little ones, even 4 years old, 5 years old, 6, 7 years old, with the ones who is really wearing the mask for the first time and trying to adjust their breath to that, you can also do it not to 4, sometimes 3. Okay, inhale 1, 2, and exhale 1, 2, 3. Every kid knows to count till 3. So it's easy for them. So even if you do it a couple of times, it's perfect. So nose breathing is very, very important, actually, for the kids, for the adults, for anybody who is using a mask in those pandemic times. So if you find yourself that your mouth is always open, so try to close it and do some nose breathing.
Yeah, it's something that I had to learn because a long time ago, my breath technique was so bad that I always had to breathe through my mouth. And it's something that I really had to learn. So it's possible to breathe differently. And that does a huge difference with the stress level, definitely.
Yeah, but I'll show one more exercise and then I'm going to finish. I think we don't have so much time. And Tarzan breath, Tarzan Mowgli from our childhood. Yeah, that's a very good exercise. That's, with this actually movement, we also use this thymus point. It's very good for the immune system, for the hormone. And plus we are using the sound and movement in this exercise. Plus it's very good for undefined emotions, and sometimes I do it when I'm very angry and sometimes in the shower in the morning, so it gives you energy. Okay. And when you feel low energy, it can really balance your energy, and you can do all those exercises with your kids or with your students as a teacher. So it is very important because this fast time of the digital world, we don't have time. We don't even have time to breathe on our own just for 30 seconds. But with the children, you can try it.
We can do that.
Try it. We will just breathe in, and we will make an ah sound. As Tarzan is just calling their friends in the forest, so the monkeys and bees and everybody, all the animals are coming. So, but the animals can hear from everywhere, so you don't need to be so loud. You can tell this to the kids, okay? And make your hands as a fist, and you will do from this point, not too much, not too strong, yeah, but in your rhythm, but just have some fun.
It's good. I'm going to do that with my children afterwards.
Yeah, that's very nice. So when you do it like 2, 3, 4 times, even you will see that even the kids are jumping on a couch or very high. You will see that they are very balanced. Okay, they will be balanced, and this is a very healing exercise. Like buy one get 3, something like that. So
but I can feel
everybody.
I can feel it here.
Yeah,
so
you can butterflies here. Yeah, that's very
good.
important.
Thank you very much for all these tips. So it's easy to use. It can be fun. we can do with our children, and it's not taking like 20 minutes, just a few moments during the day, like, okay, we are just going to do 1,000 before dinner, after lunch or whatever. And yeah, we can have fun with our children. With the teenager, it might be a little bit difficult to
yeah, with the teenager, but teenagers are also doing it, especially with their sisters or brothers. So this is also a fun family activity.
yeah.
But for the teenagers, I can advise that, I mean, just look at their rhythm. I mean, what they are doing, what are their expectations from life. There are also card games that you can play with the teenagers, but those card games are not like, you know, poker or something. It's like mostly for asking questions to each other, so to get to know each other. And this is also a fun family activity, and you can really hear a lot of interesting things from the children about yourself and for them.
Yeah.
So this is also maybe the last step for the teens.
So thank you very much. It was very interesting. I really love your tips. Very good. And try it and let us know in comments. So if you tried it, how it was at home. And I'm going to put in the links as well, so your Insta and so on. And then I always suggest to connect with these people, having this knowledge, having the experience, the personal experience, the professional experience, and ask questions directly, because it's the best way to have the right answer, right?
Yeah, thank you very much for having me, Crystal. What you're doing is very precious. Thank you very much for the behalf of all the parents and teachers.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Tschüss.
Tschüss.